You have a child. Your job as a parent is to protect your child. Well, when your child develops an illness that has a cough, a runny nose, a fever, and red watery eyes, you think it's just a normal illness. You treat your child like any parent would. You give them over-the-counter pain relievers, lots of love, and fluids. Well, 2 to 3 days after these symptoms start, you notice little white spots in your child's mouth. These are called Koplik spots. Now, you're still concerned about these spots, but the symptoms haven't changed. So you continually give your child supportive care. Well, 3 to 5 days after these spots, you notice a rash on your child. This rash goes from your hairline down to their face, their neck, their trunk, down their legs, and to their feet. This doesn't look like an ordinary rash. This rash is flat with little red dots in the center. Now you're concerned, especially when you notice that your child's fever is elevated more than it has been. You take your child to the doctor and they tell you something that you never imagined would happen. Your child has measles. Measles, the disease that can lead to pneumonia and encephalopathy. Measles, the disease that kills 1 to 3 every 1,000 children. Measles, the disease you thought was eliminated in the United States in the year 2000. Measles, the disease that has had over 800 episodes this year in the United States. Measles, which of these over 800 outbreaks in the United States, 90% of these people are unvaccinated. We have a problem here in the United States, and the problem is not vaccinating your children. So let's delve into why people aren't vaccinating their children. The first reason is parents want their children to be healthy. They want to make sure they're making the best choice to make their kids healthy and happy. So they're worried about allergic reactions to the vaccine. Not any allergic reaction. They're worried about an anaphylactic reaction, which is the deadly of the allergic reactions. Well, this occurs in 1 in every 1 million children. It's a rare reaction. When you expose your child to food or medications they have not had before, you increase their risk of having any kind of reaction. So regardless of what you're exposing your child to, they could have a reaction. And it's always a little rare. It's a risk you take having a child and exposing them to things. The other issue is parents are worried about the ingredient in vaccines called thimerosal. Now, thimerosal is organic mercury. Parents are concerned because thimerosal has been related to autism. However, in the year 2010, parents put a court case up against the U.S. court trying to eliminate this ingredient from vaccines. The U.S. court ended up throwing out this court case, and they stated that there is no link between vaccinations and autism, and they had all the support to back that up. Well, if that wasn't enough to convince a parent that thimerosal is virtually harmless to your child, the American Academy of Pediatrics and the U.S. Public Health System put out a statement after this court case. They stated, the large risk of not vaccinating children far outweigh the underlying and probability much smaller risk, if any, of cumulative exposure to thimerosal containing vaccines over the first 6 months of life. If the American Academy of Pediatrics and the U.S. Public Health say that thimerosal is safe, they're not going to let your children have unsafe medications. So what are we going to do about this problem? Is there anything that can be done? I don't know if it's too extreme to have the U.S. government mandate vaccinations for everybody to prevent a potential pandemic or epidemic of any of the diseases that we are vaccinated against, especially measles. But we live in America, the land of the free. We are allowed to make our own decisions on whether or not we put things into our body. The government cannot tell us to do that. So now we have to come up with a different solution. There actually has been a small solution. It just needs to be implemented a little better. In 1855, Massachusetts put out a law saying unvaccinated children are not allowed to be in public schools. Now, this law went through, and by 1970, 29 states in America all passed this law that you are not allowed to be in school if you are not vaccinated. However, we have 50 states, so we need to get more states on board to protect our children and protect our country. Also, we need to educate parents about why we do vaccinations and the risks versus the benefits. Parents read things on the internet, they hear things from friends, but they don't make informed decisions for themselves. Not vaccinating your child is not only a danger to your child, it's also a danger to your community, the people around you, and also a danger to the United States of America. We do have a problem here. So, I think that you should let your community vote on whether or not we should mandate children to be vaccinated, to be in school, and we need to make sure that we are following this rule. Because, like I said, you are not the only one at risk by not vaccinating your child. It should go to a vote. Like I said before, in the year 2000, measles was eliminated in the United States. However, it's making a comeback. Unlike those platform shoes that are making a comeback from 2000, this is dangerous. This is not only endangering yourself, it's endangering your community. We need to do something about it now before other illnesses that we are vaccinated against take an uprise in our community, like polio and tetanus. We need to protect ourselves. So next time you decide not to vaccinate your child, or you hear somebody talking about unvaccination, you need to inform them about further education on this problem. Thank you.